Erick Strickland. You probably have never heard of him.
Yeah, I
Strickland
never
was
heard
an
of bro.
undrafted player of the '96 class and went on to have a solid 8-year career where he earned $13 million. But what's interesting was how he lost all that money. Strickland is a good example of why you should not let a family member or close friend handle your finances. Strickland's father managed his money and used it to buy a plot of land on sale for $1.8 million. Apparently, according to, quote, a friend of a friend, he said it was appraised at $3 million, so this was a good deal, right? No, it turns out that appraisal was fake, and it wasn't worth nearly as much as the price he bought it for. Along with many other bad investments from his family members, Strickland quickly went bankrupt and lost everything he earned.
Raymond Green claims the NBA does not set up their players to retire with wealth, yet he's made over $170 million in his career. His claim sounded crazy, but after listening to his argument, many fans were absolutely shocked by what they heard and agreed with him. He revealed how NBA players are taxed. Most NBA players have to pay around 40% of their salary to the federal government, and then there is a special rule about the state income taxes they pay. They're taxed not only by their state of residence, but also by the states and cities where they play games. Many NBA players lose nearly half of their income to taxes. Then he explained the NBA fine system. He said, "Man, it took my mom 4 years when I was growing up to make $100,000, and I lose that in a night because what? The referee got mad at me and he didn't like what I said to him?" Many believe there is some truth to what Green is saying.
I wonder if the referees get some sort of insensitive for calling out players and fining them. Y'all know John Moran don't even care. John Moran be standing on business. Yeah, if y'all know what he been dealing with lately.
NFL players who lost all their money. Back in the early 2000s, Terrell Owens was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Over his 15-year career, he made around $80 million, dominating the field with his speed, size, and legendary touchdown celebration. But despite all that money, he lost almost everything. You see, Owens didn't just spend money, he burned through it. He lived a lavish lifestyle, buying expensive cars, designer clothes, and even a massive mansion. And while that might not seem unusual for an NFL star, there was one problem. He wasn't keeping track of where his money was actually going. The thing is, Owens trusted financial advisors who made risky investments and mismanaged his money.
Mismanaged his money. So they mismanaged his money. Or did they just take it?
Actually going. The thing is, Owens trusted financial advisors who made risky investments.
That's where I was wrong. Owen says his financial advisor misappropriated funds and placed in a range of risky investments, including a failed casino venture in Alabama. He did not find out something was amiss until it was too late, when his money was nearly gone. Bro, them financial advisors should not even be risking your money at a casino. That's like a gamble in itself. It's calling out scam.
And mismanaged his money. On top of that, he had to pay nearly $45,000 a month in child support for his 4 kids. And by 2011, just a year after leaving the league, he was struggling to pay his bills. But it gets even worse. You see, Owens tried to make a comeback in the NFL, hoping to fix his financial situation, but no team wanted him since he was in his late 30s, so with no steady income, he lost almost everything, and just like that, one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history was broke.
And I'm tired of seeing this on Instagram coming from basketball players, and that's why a lot of y'all losers. If you ain't come from nothing, then you understand why people say they would rather $50 million and a championship. Because I care about being the best at what the gift God gave me. It would suck to play the game of basketball and never say you was the champion. You was never the best in the world. $50 million is enough for people who come from nothing.
Yes, sir.
We know how to make that work. That $50 million is like $200 million to us. Talking about, I'll take $100 million and the championship. Nah, I'll take $50 million and that championship.
I will too.
But you're not a winner. You don't want to be the best. Y'all made y'all money, but y'all wasn't the best at nothing.
So there's players like Chris Paul. He never won a championship, which I think he should have. Who else? Dirk Nowitzki was close. But all I can think of right now is Chris Paul, one of the guys who should have won a championship. But I guess maybe he took the pay.
me for like money like that. Like I know a lot of guys deal with that, and sometimes it's I guess it's hard for them to say no. Sometimes it's pretty easy for me to say no. Somebody hit me up and he's like, "Yo, can I get 20?" I didn't even respond. Like later down the line, like says like, "Yo, the 20." I'm like, hit him back. I'm like, bro, like as a grown man, like, and I know you have like a job, you have a decent job. Even in times it's tough. 20, what is 20 gonna do? He hits me back. Oh, 20. I meant 20K. I'm like, bro, what? He's like, yeah, I'm trying to take the kids to Disney. So then I'm sitting here thinking, what type of exclusive Disney trip are you taking?
Dude, I was cool with. He'll like send me some shirts and stuff, cool like graphic tees and stuff. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm starting my business. You know, I was just reaching out to a couple of guys in the league because I know y'all got it." So first of all, he said, "Y'all got it." I know y'all got it. Second, he said, "So I will probably need like 30 from each of y'all to start my business." I'm like, "What kind of business are you starting?" Dude said clothing. I don't follow on Instagram. I did not text back. I was like, I can't believe you just had the audacity to ask me.
So let's talk about Trevor Ariza. They're saying he is reportedly going broke since leaving the NBA last year in 2022, now that he can't afford child support, and obviously it's also alimony, spousal support. So, for those of you who don't know, Trevor, he played in the NBA for 18 years, just recently retired. His now-to-be ex-wife, she filed for divorce literally last year in 2022 as well. No coincidence there, right? He just retired from the NBA, but hey, whatever. So she's now demanding $60,000.
That's crazy. You 18 years in the league, and now you got baby mama issues right out of retirement. It's crazy that once you don't make the amount of money to withstand a lifestyle, they're gonna change up on you, and that's what they did to Trevor Ariza, man.
A month in support, including over $23,000 for child support. She says she feels that he needs to continue to maintain that lifestyle she had while she was married to him.
Yeah, that's just
you know what that includes? Private chefs, household staff, 5-bedroom mansion, and Rolls-Royce vehicles, just to kind of name a few. She also is demanding that he pays $275,000 to cover her legal fees.
Is this a month?
I always question that because the women that are filing for divorce then want the man to pay for the legal fees. Make that make sense, y'all. Okay, they were only married for 4 years, so get that. She's demanding primary custody, but she's unemployed. I mean, why do we always continue to see this in these divorce filings? How does that make sense? You're unemployed, have no income coming in, but you want to have primary custody of the children. That does not make sense. And honestly, not only that, right? Now, after she filed for divorce and they're going through legal proceedings,
those kids, if they were to find out the reality of why they broke up, I'm sure they would have some sort of animosity. I'm sure they'd be mad at their mom because you just split a family over money. That's what really is happening right now.
Now coming out saying that there was alleged abuse during the relationship, so she went and put a restraining order on him.
I doubt it.
He denied all those allegations, said that they were not true, they're all false, and that she's basically coming out saying this now. But he was denied a restraining order. I mean, why do we always have this a one-sided issue? This can happen to men as well. So it's not just a one-sided issue when it comes to domestic violence. It's just not. But I think the real irony is, why do we always see that these allegations come out after the fact? It seemed like everything was fine during the marriage, but when it comes down to fighting for money that you feel like you are owed, it's always trying to get these allegations out there so that people already have this prejudgment of the man. I mean,
I'm pretty sure she had a lot of that money that he was giving to her for the kids, putting it to the side so she could have enough money, if this didn't, play out like, okay, maybe I didn't get such amount of money, but I'm well off still because I took this amount, you feel me? Either way, she winning if she got what she needed out of this situation.
I mean, to me, there's domestic violence that goes both ways for both men and women, but I feel like a lot of these stories that we hear, it's like you have to kind of question the motive sometimes, and it's really unfortunate that it's come to this point. And also, another question that I'm going to leave you guys with is, why did she end up filing for divorce as soon as he left the NBA? I mean, isn't marriage supposed to be for better or for worse?
NBA players are earning bigger salaries than ever before. But stats show that almost 65% of basketball players go broke. Both old legends and new stars are losing millions. So, we've counted down the top 20 for you. You'll never believe how much cash was lost by the person in our number 1 spot. Number 20, Ray Williams, $2.5 million. Ray Williams might never have been an all-star, but he was a star in his own right during his 9 years in the NBA during the 80s. He played with the Knicks and the Nets in that time. At certain points in his career, he was one of the best people to hand the ball to, if the team needed a couple of points. He retired in 1987, but that was a pretty bad decision. His life fell apart almost straight away. He'd earned an incredible $2.5 million during his career, but he was so short on cash that he had to apply for his NBA pension much sooner than expected. He was given $200,000. But sadly, he lost it all when he invested it in a real estate opportunity that turned out to be a scam. He had pretty much nothing left. It was so bad, he was soon living in his car, which he parked outside a friend's house in Boston. But finally, he was given a chance. In 2011, the Boston Globe ran a story on how he was down on his luck, and some of his former teammates got in touch. Through them, he landed a job as a recreation specialist at Mount Vernon. His life got a little easier after that, but he sadly passed away in 2013. $2.5 million is a lot to lose, but it doesn't come close to the amount that the next person on our list had lost. Number 19, Sidney Moncrief, $7.2 million. Sidney Moncrief had a star-studded career, literally. In his 11 years with the NBA, he was a 5-time All-Star. And if that wasn't good enough, he was also the very first Defensive Player of the Year award, before winning it again the next year too, making him the only guard in the history of the game to win the award twice. During his NBA career, and making his name with the Milwaukee Bucks, he earned $7.2 million, a very impressive salary in the 80s. He did try to grow his wealth after retiring. He bought a car dealership in Arkansas while working as an assistant for the Dallas Mavericks.
I like that part.
In 2005, he filed for bankruptcy. He owed tons of cash to car dealerships, a bank, a newspaper, and even the Mavericks.
Nah.
We don't know why.
Never mind,
Lucky for him, he wasn't broke for too long.
That boy, old Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, you did some business with my bro here? Damn, I didn't know that.
A job as analyst for Fox Sports and a coach of a G League team, Fort Worth Flyers, bailed him out of trouble.
Fort Worth Flyers? Are they talking about Fort Worth, Texas? My city?
It's always impressive when someone goes broke, but bounces back. So here's another one. Number 18, Rick Mahorn, $8.5 million. Rick Mahorn is best remembered as an essential part of the Detroit Pistons championship run. He was a pretty reliable player, so you would expect him to be just as reliable with money. And he kinda was. It did take him 10 years after retiring before he ran into financial trouble. But he finally filed for bankruptcy in 2009. Weirdly, that happened even though he had a job as a WNBA coach. So what happened? He defaulted on one of his mortgages and soon owed a whopping $200,000. But, like we said, he's reliable and had soon got himself 2 more jobs. One as a broadcaster for his old team, and one coaching for Ice Cube's Big 3 League. He was back on track financially in no time. Rick went totally broke before bouncing back, but you don't need to file for bankruptcy if you lose millions, as the next person on our list proves. Number 17, Erick Strickland, $13 million. Erick Strickland played for 9 seasons, peaking during his time with the Dallas Mavericks. His career was short and sweet, and he retired at the age of just 32. But that didn't mean he sacrificed cash. He earned an impressive $13 million. But he wasn't immune for trusting the wrong person. One day, a friend approached Erick with a really great real estate deal. It was for the purchase of a piece of land, which Erick figured he could flip for a really good profit. He even got his dad to double-check it for him, but everyone agreed it looked legit. And after all, it had come from a friend. So, what can go wrong?
Damn, they're just scamming them with real estate, aren't they?
Erick soon realized that it wouldn't make him even half as much cash as he'd been told. Even worse, his so-called friend had made a huge profit off the bogus deal. We don't know exactly what Erick's finances look like now, but he's definitely nowhere near as rich as he could have been if that friend hadn't taken him for a ride. He's not the only player who lost a lot of cash because a friend lied to him.
So yeah, y'all need to start paying attention that even your friends gonna scam you out your money in real estate because you don't know anything about investing. When you get a lot of money, man, they're coming after you, y'all. And also, you coming after yourself with debt when you don't know how to spend your money wisely, y'all. Too many rich people going broke. In reality, what is broke to y'all? Let me know in the comment section below. Is it an amount of money that you have in a bank account, or is it just, you know, being in debt really? And like up the video, comment down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet and you're new, and we'll see you on the next one.